being a middle class person, you have very limited choices. So I think one as a middle class person, doing these jobs at a middle level management and then growing at a higher level management, shouldering all the family responsibilities together was a difficult task.
Right.
Since Mahindra and Mahindra is a very big company, is a known automobile manufacturer.
Yes.
That gave me a wide scope to learn. आप जितना सीख सकते हो उतना सीखो, because world is your playground. I'm very proud to say that I was working with Mahindra and Mahindra, but Indian company operating in as an MNC in outside country. After putting 22, 23 years in the industry, I thought of yes, and this is a time when I can actually live my dream. In 2012, 13, of course, when I left Mahindra and Mahindra, I had an idea of food business in my mind. Again, 3 to 4 years of research in Dubai market, I obviously came to know that there's a huge demand of mangoes, and so I decided to do a research on this product. And we did a research on this product, and finally, my team was able to make a no chemical Alfonso mango pulp at the end of the testing. Hong Kong companies are banning MDH and Everest masala. Why they are banning is because they have found some kind of ingredients which are chemical, cancer causing chemicals. Every entrepreneur starting from a zero faces a lot of challenges. I ventured into business after 22 years of corporate life. So you can imagine a new a young entrepreneur coming in the market with very limited ideas, with not enough knowledge about the product or the markets or whatever. It's not a very easy thing. I'm not getting something, or something is not working in government departments. I know how to get things done from the government department. So if you are venturing out into a certain area, you definitely have to see the competition, because there are people who are motivating entrepreneurs like anything. अरे जाओ, बिंदास जाओ, ये करो, डरो मत, ऐसा करके बोल देते हैं. बहुत सारे लोग नौकरी छोड़ के उधर जाके कूद जाते हैं.
Friends, welcome to my show, The Venkatesh Show. Friends, today's episode is going to be a very inspiring and motivational, because today we have with us Advocate Rajiv Karkhanis.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Rajiv Karkhanis is the founder of one startup which is Good Life Venture.
Yes, sir.
I think I'm pronouncing properly the name of your startup.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So first of all, sir, welcome to my show.
Sir, thank you for inviting me for your show. Thanks a lot, first of all.
Yeah, sure. Sir, we'll start with your professional journey as an entrepreneur.
Yes. To start with, sir, I belong actually to a very conservative Maharashtrian family in Mumbai. Born and brought up in a suburbs of Mumbai called as Vikhroli. And to start with, as every common man starts your professional journey of not knowing where to go. I'm a commerce graduate to start with, and in our times, we used to have only these three fields. एक साइंस था, एक कॉमर्स था और एक आर्ट्स था.
Right.
Okay, साइंस लेना नहीं है और आर्ट्स करना नहीं है. So obvious choice was a commerce choice. So this is how I started our journey of not knowing where to go, but a commerce graduate. So I've completed my BCom plain graduation from KJ Somaya College, which is in Vidya Vihar. After doing the graduation, obviously working with a chartered accountant, because the moment you complete your BCom, your main foray is your accounts, finance and accounts. So that becomes your main foray. So I started working with 200 rupees a month with a chartered accountant for the first 7 to 8 months. And with God's grace, I got a break immediately in a company called as Asian Paints, which was a top landing paint company. Through an interview, I attempted costing exams. So I cracked the costing first and second groups, and due to this got a better break, early break in Asian Paints, and that's how my basically finance and taxation journey started. With God's grace, I got a break in indirect taxes, which used to be sales tax and excise tax, which is now GST from 2016. So I got a core experience of 4 to 5 years in Asian Paints in that company. And then as we grew, as my professional journey, the knowledge and experience grew, I got selected in Mahindra and Mahindra, where I put in almost 18 to 20 years of my professional course. And during my journey as a professional working in accounts and taxation department, I then further pursued my higher qualification. I completed my LLB, my law LLB, and then I completed my masters in law. So I'm a masters in law LLM from University of Mumbai. So the whatever I've gained and what came to my mind from time to time that should be done for your professional growth, I did whatever was possible, from our side. So being a middle class person, you have very limited choices. So moment you grow, her middle class army ka story. By the time you are 23, 24, you are looking at settling. By the time you are 28, 29, you get married.
Right.
You add up to your responsibilities, and with that added responsibilities, you add up to your personal you call liabilities, your responsibilities, and you come on shouldering these responsibilities.
Right,
so I think one as a middle class person, doing this jobs at a middle level management and then growing at a higher level management, shouldering all the family responsibilities together was a difficult task. So in short, I would say this is my little professional journey, and the dream of entrepreneur obviously was there in my mind, but would hardly do anything because of these responsibilities.
Okay. Can you share some of your experience with Mahindra and Mahindra?
Yes, sir. In fact, whatever I am today is because of the kind of rich experience that I've gained in Mahindra and Mahindra. Because being an indirect taxes and finance team for and putting so much years of service in Mahindra and Mahindra, that gave me that real confidence of doing something. That confidence has come from the actual work that you have put in. Work you have put in different areas like finance, procurement, maybe procurement, sales, business development, international business. So the more bigger your company is, the more it's opportunity for you to learn. Since Mahindra and Mahindra is a very big company, is a known automobile manufacturer.
Yes.
In the automotive sector, that gave me a wide scope to learn. And it was kind of a when you're working in big companies, आप जितना सीख सकते हो उतना सीखो, because world is your playground.
There is no any limit.
There is no limit for Mahindra and Mahindra, because Mahindra and Mahindra today is operating in all countries across the world.
Right, that's true.
We have a presence in Mahindra having a presence in South Africa. We have a tractor plant in US.
Right.
It has a company, Indian company, to be very proud of.
Yes.
Working in, in an Indian company having presence all over the world.
Right.
So very few, examples where people can proudly say that I was working in an Indian MNC.
Right.
Today people say that I'm working in an MNC, I'm working in this company, मैं ये company में काम कर रहा हूँ. But they are all foreign companies doing business in India.
Right.
I'm very proud to say that I was working with Mahindra and Mahindra, but Indian company operating in as an MNC in outside countries.
That's true, actually. Actually, last month I was traveling to Latin American country.
Okay.
In Peru, actually, one of Latin American countries. And the moment I came out of airport, the first car which I saw is a Mahindra.
Oh, great.
So yes, I mean, truly it's Indian multinational company.
Yes.
Yeah. So, sir, I think we will, I would like to ask about your startup journey. I think that is more interesting.
Sir, as I told you, being an entrepreneur and being a lower middle class, rather I will rather to say, coming from that kind of a family background, dreaming of being an entrepreneur is also a dream. Okay, but you can't think of anything else. You are barely managing your requirements, and that entrepreneur word is far away from you. बहुत लंबा है वो. So, and of course, that is the reason why I struggled and I did my job for 23 years in the industry. And after putting 22, 23 years in the industry, I thought of, yes, and this is a time when, I can actually live my dream. The kids are grown up. You have fairly, amount of finances kept aside out of your savings for your family.
Right.
And this is the time when you think you can just live your passion. Okay, live that the kind of entrepreneur dream that you wanted to do something of your own. So to start with entrepreneurs, as I told you, that fire of that entrepreneur was already there in my mind, but could hardly do anything because of the shouldering these responsibilities.
Right.
I started this Good Life Ventures, my company, envisaging that हमको कोई भी business में सबसे कम पैसा कहाँ लगता है? We have a lot of big ideas. ये करना है, वो करना है. People can give you hundreds of ideas, requiring lakhs and crores of rupees of initial seed capital.
Right.
But of course, I was starting with a zero, with my family responsibilities and all that stuff.
Right.
So the only thing I thought to start an entrepreneurial business is that what will require and what will take less capital for you. And the food business is kind of a business which will take away a lot of capital from you.
Right.
And at the same time, you can implement your product or idea, whatever you had. In 2012, 13, of course, when I left Mahindra and Mahindra, I had an idea of food business in my mind. I started a very small business of my own of packing the fried items in Mumbai, around Mumbai, which is Dombivli MIDC, and selling it to Dubai.
Okay.
It's a made to order kind of a business, a small business, made to order. Again, 3 to 4 years of research in Dubai market, I obviously came to know that there's a huge demand of mangoes, and mango is a light product to all the Gulf, community, basically.
Right.
So I started working on this project. I said, this is possible for me, being a Konkani item and staying in Konkan, knowing Konkan, knowing the product very well. So decided to make an Alfonso mango pulp. So no chemical, I'll discuss later.
Okay.
So I researched this product and I found out that no chemical Alfonso mango pulp is not there. There's Alfonso mango pulp, and this product is already liked in the Gulf community and overall world.
Yes.
So I decided to do a research on this product, and we did a research on this product, and finally my team was able to make a no chemical Alfonso mango pulp at the end of the testing. So we were very happy to do this testing. We were successful in this testing. And after the successful testing of the product, I started the manufacturing company in the year 2017.
Okay.
After a due and proper testing, proper analysis, proper test reports.
It was before COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. It was before COVID. So 2017, we started with a decided market in Gulf.
Okay.
We manufactured the product, sold successfully in the Gulf market. Because this was anyway no chemical Alfonso mango pulp. We got an international certification also, and that's a USP of the product basically.
I think very interesting story, sir. I just wanted to stop here.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, like your commercial year is a 2017.
Yes, sir.
Before 2017, can you share some light on how you started, how you did the research, and the manufacturing process? I am sure that it would be it was kind of challenging phase before making any commercial order.
Yes, it was basically the product. I had a very strong product in the mind. I knew that product is going to work because this product is an innovative product. What I was planning to make was an innovative product. In business, in generally, it was my feeling. It's obviously is my thought, and that you will agree to this thought. That today, if there are n number of business working, operating, if you want to start from zero, if you come from zero, your product, your whatever you are doing should be different from others. It should be hatke from others. You are only going to survive in the market. And I already had this idea, and I knew that this idea is not there in the market after a due market research. So I found that there is a huge demand for this particular product. If we make this product, we are definitely going to be successful. Before even I started making this product, I did a market research on the product, even which was not born. So even before my product was born, I did a due market research to understand whether there's going to be a demand for the product or not. After I was, as an entrepreneur, was happy with the kind of research I have done, I decided to foray in this in the particular product. And I knew that since knew that this is an innovative product, it would require a lot of innovation, a lot of testing, a lot of laboratory testing and experimentation required. So this experimentation, in fact, lasted for 3.5 years.
Okay.
That was the kind of, because you have to do something, you have to go to the depth of the product.
Right.
We have learned in commerce 5 P's of product, the product, the price, the people, where you're saying, the place where you're selling, these 5 P's. So definitely a very strong management team that we generally, see in the books. But when I actually was doing it, I could actually experience that. The 5 P's of the business.
Right.
When I was doing it, the product was there, the research was there. I knew the people whom I'm selling. I knew the price that I'm going to sell. So this is a lot of innovative work that went in, and I was confident about the product because it was an innovative product. ऐसा नहीं है कि market में already product मिल रहा है. Okay, so we are the 11th player. They already 10 people are sitting in the market.
Without chemical?
And in a particular product basically.
Okay. In general,
in general, I'm talking. Perfect. Yeah, you're right. And then I am the 11th one. It was not like that. I knew that if no chemical Alfonso mango pulp is successful, I'm going to be the first one to be there. Okay. And during my research, I've also found out that in Konkan area, there are people who are doing no chemical. They're doing, but the people who are doing that no chemical were doing basically in an unorganized segment. Okay. So if I say that I'm the first manufacturer of Alfonso mango pulp, some people came to me and told me that अरे हम लोग तो बहुत साल से बना रहे हैं, ऐसा हम लोग ये ऐसा उसको उबालते हैं, ऐसा उसमें मिक्स करते हैं और ऐसा हो गया वो पल्प है. So basically no standardization, no factory standards, no product was not standardized.
No in organized way.
Not in an organized way. They themselves didn't know whether the product will last or not. Secondly, the product was not lab tested. Okay, it was not made in a certified registered factory. It was basically home business. Home business था वो.
Right.
तो वो प्रोडक्ट कभी हाई निकल रहा है, प्रोडक्ट कभी लो वैल्यू निकल रहा है, स्टैंडर्डाइज नहीं है प्रोडक्ट में. Okay, so there were people doing, but they were not able to themselves. They were not clear about the product. And the packing of the product was very conventional. Okay, they used to take some glass bottles, which were just washed.
Right.
In a normal wash basin.
Your package is good. Can you show us the product?
Yes, definitely.
I think your package is very good. I must say.
Yeah, this generally comes in an international packing. When I say that this product is internationally packed, it means that this is a canned product. Okay, and when you actually can a product, canning means putting them in a can. Okay, when you can any product, you basically have to do a retortion. Now, what is retortion? Retortion means cleaning your can with a hot steam.
Okay.
This is called as retortion.
Okay.
So, why retortion and canning is accepted in US and America and international markets is because when I say that it is retorted, I don't have to explain to the foreign buyer or anybody else that how I've made it. The reason is that if this can is not properly washed, I'll use retortion is a technical word.
Right.
To use a very simple word, it is called as washing the can with high steam. What happens is when you clean this can with a high steam, it is upside turned down when this is empty.
Right.
The can is retorted. Retorted means high value steam is forced into it. Now what happens? All microorganism, maybe any small living organism, microorganism gets absolutely cleaned. So this can is cleaned with steam, and then the filling is done. So
that's the international standard which you follow.
Yes, this is the international standard. General, if I'm holding this can in front of this camera and saying that this is a canned product, then in international community, food community, it is understood that it is retorted.
Yes.
Because if I don't do a proper retortion, if I don't do it, the product will get spoiled.
Okay.
Because some or the microorganism would be probably there, sitting inside, and they'll spoil the product.
Right.
So I cannot fill the product without retortion.
Okay. So this is properly cleaned, and and how you manage to have a long expiry with natural or no chemical?
This is basically if you see food pulp per se. Any food pulp, okay, which we want to preserve, okay. So there is, you must have heard about pasteurization. We generally use the word pasteurization in milk, if you remember.
Right.
So what exactly pasteurization is? Pasteurization is heating your product to a particular level, okay, and then you gradually bring down the temperature to a certain level. Now the level of pasteurization for different products is different. Okay, if I say milk, it is some 110 degrees. And when you do this pasteurization, it makes the product stronger. Stronger means it lasts for a long time.
Okay.
This is a general food understanding.
Yes.
So how this product lasts is the technology of pasteurization.
Okay.
Which is unique to me. No one knows this formula, and this is the IPR. Basically, I'll tell you. This is the technology which other people don't have.
Okay.
मतलब कितना टेम्परेचर तक मैंगो पल्प को बॉईल करना चाहिए, कितना नहीं करना चाहिए, वो कैसे होना चाहिए, दिस इज द टेक्नोलॉजी. And just to give you a far more better idea about the mango pulp which was existing before this. So normally people also generally ask me this question, Rajiv, market to product mein tha, but wo chemical product tha.
Right,
okay,
right.
we understand this. Now you say that okay, there is no chemical in this. So pehle kaise kya tha, banta tha. So a general understanding of this is that whenever there are some 7 or 8 manufacturers who are selling mango pulp in Amazon USA.
Okay.
Even before I started the market, when I started manufacturing.
Okay.
So they are obviously they're having chemicals in the product. It's clearly declared on the product that you can't hide. I mean, if you're using a chemical in the product, we have to declare that.
Right, right.
Okay. So वो उसमें ऐसा होता है कि जब product 30 डिग्री पे बॉईल होता है, okay, average 30 degrees, right? तभी at that time, some chemicals are inserted, put into that, added, basically preservatives, standard preservatives are added when the product is boiling at 30 degrees. So once the product is boiled at 30 degrees and preservatives are added, the product gets stabilized.
Okay.
Okay, and then it'll not spoil. And then it is brought to the room temperature and then it is packed.
Okay.
So this is the standard process before I came into 4A. Now, what is the difference between those products and mine is that when my product is boiling at 30, okay, my pasteurization process is such that I don't have to put chemical inside.
Okay, okay.
And that's the technology.
Okay.
Because I am reducing the pressure and the temperature in such a way that you need not put chemicals inside.
Okay.
It's a risky job. I'll tell you why. Because if at all there's a slightest mistake in boiling, the entire batch will get spoiled.
Okay.
See, because mango technically is a perishable product.
Yes.
Okay. Again, people very surprisingly ask me a question, Rajiv. I mean, this is such a highly perishable product, and you are saying that there's no chemical inside the product. I mean, how it is possible? So, to give a straight answer, I tell them read my test report.
Okay.
Because my test report is clear.
Right, right.
It's very clear that it is not having testing. Then they ask me, yeah, you're saying is right, but then it's very amazing product. I said, yes, that's the USP of my product.
Is your product tested by any standard lab?
Yeah, it is tested by TUV Labs. TUV Labs is a standardized laboratory testing system which is accepted all over the globe. We have also an SGS laboratory testing. Generally, what we do, we test every year's product. Okay, so this is May now. We are taking this interview in the month of May. My production is on.
Okay.
Is going on. So I normally test every batch.
Okay.
With the testimonials, right? And then ensure that I don't have any kind of chemicals and all that, because I have to prove to the third party that it does not have any chemical. I know it because I am manufacturing, but obviously when you sell it in the market, you would require a test report. So we take test reports of the product to prove it that it does not have any chemical.
Yeah. So one pack contains 850 gram of pulp.
Yes, absolutely.
So
right.
To prepare 850 gram of pulp, how many mangoes do you require?
Generally, for making an 850 grams mango, I require some 8 or 10 mangoes. Because if you see the product, it is thick.
Right.
Okay, it is not the kind of product you're making in your house, which is very thin.
Right.
Now, why it is thick? Because it is pasteurized. Okay, so I normally tell my customers that it's so much thick, it's so thick that if you see value-wise, okay, approximately in an 850 gram pouch or a pack, generally contains mangoes worth 900 plus.
Okay.
So, and my MRP of my product is 375.
900 rupees, Indian rupees.
Yeah, INR. Approx. 850, 900 plus.
That's true.
And
actually.
with every year, the cost of mangoes is going up.
The
cost of, fresh mangoes I'm talking about.
Yes.
When you generally sell mangoes in the month of May, you have that price everywhere. Every time the prices are going up.
Yes.
Okay, so when my first customers, when I started selling it, and this product went to the kitchen of my friends' families, their wives started asking the question to their husbands. You ask your friend that how is he able to give this product at such a low cost?
How he is making profit?
How is making profit?
Okay.
So this is it's a big appreciation for my product.
That's true actually. Just wanted to add here, I tested your product today afternoon, and I must say that your product is a hero.
Thank you.
Your product has uniqueness.
Yeah.
The taste really looks like authentic mango. That's the reason I'm asking the ratio of
Okay.
how many
Yeah.
mangoes it
Yeah.
required to prepare 850 gram pulp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming to our product, sir. So you are currently selling in India and Dubai.
Yeah. In India, just to start with India, in India, I'm selling only in Bombay.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, the reason is that the Bombay is paisa Bombay में ही है.
Yes.
Your customers are there in Bombay. Bombay
Right.
is a huge city.
Right.
Okay, so I'm concentrating on Bombay only because Bombay में इतना market है इसको, such a big market.
Such a big huge market.
And my product has been liked for the past 6 or 7 years. It's been liked by people. My sales average is growing by 15 to 25% a year.
Okay.
18 different percentages, but average I can say 20% growth. Once the product reaches anybody's kitchen, it becomes a permanent member in the kitchen.
That's true.
Well, I don't have to advertise the product, to be very honest. Once it goes to somebody in the market, in the house, it becomes a permanent member of the kitchen. To tell you a very strong testimonial of my product is that mothers have come and back and told me personally thank you, because we eat generally, kids don't eat chapatis.
Right.
Okay, they are forced to eat chapatis. Ye chapati khao, chapati khao. And generally to make the kids eat chapati, we give them with jams.
Right.
By khao. Parents struggle and jam are full of chemicals. Absolutely full of chemicals. I mean, no negative advertising for jams. I'm not interested in doing negative advertising for jams.
Right.
But everybody know that jams are loaded with chemicals.
Yes.
And mothers have come back appreciating me, saying that Rajiv, with your mango pulp, मेरा बच्चा तो 2-4 चपाती तो ऐसे ही खा जाता है. And being your product being absolutely a chemical free product, we are happy to give it to him because we know what you are eating.
Indian jam.
And we know that what you are eating, it's a pure mango pulp.
Right.
और उसको तो फिर स्कूल को जाने से पहले उसको आमरस चपाती ही चाहिए.
Okay.
And we are happy to give him because we know that there are no chemicals.
Right.
No forcing for eating chapatis. So this is a testimonial.
Okay.
Of the product.
Yeah. So what is the shelf life of your product?
So the shelf life of this product is 2 years.
Okay.
2 years without refrigeration.
Without refrigeration.
Without refrigeration, kept in an ambient temperature.
And what if we open the pack?
Yeah, if we open the pack, then you don't have to keep it in a container. You have to empty the container in an airtight pack and keep it in the refrigerator.
Okay.
After you open it.
Okay.
So answering this question, many people ask this question. It's one of my FAQs.
Right.
कि सर हम लोग ने अभी खाया फिर आगे क्या? तो generally कैसा होता है ना? What the pack size is 850. If you are a family of 4, if you open this mango pulp, I'm sure that this mango does not last for the next day.
Yeah. In one go.
It finishes in one go because kids like it, and it just get over in one go. But if at all it does not get over, you have to replace it in an airtight container.
Okay.
And keep it in the refrigerator.
Okay.
Again, a very important point I would like to make about, since you are asked, a very good point, is that once the product is opened and it is getting spoiled within an hour of 5 or 6 hours or 7 hours, is a testimony of its pureness.
Okay.
It's a testimony कि उसमें कोई chemical नहीं है.
Okay.
See, today we have packed food. Since I'm into food industry, it's a commonly everybody knows that processed foods and packed food. Recently, we are now getting a lot of news about Singapore and Hong Kong companies are banning MDH and Everest masala. Why they are banning is because they have found some kind of ingredients which are chemical, cancer causing chemicals. So in every processed food there are chemicals. अगर मैं कोई mango pulp खा रहा हूँ और मैं उसको ऐसे ही रख रहा हूँ टेबल पे, I'm keeping it without refrigeration, and it is not getting spoiled, it's a proof that obviously it has chemicals inside. वो chemical इसके लिए खराब नहीं हो रहा है. See, biscuits, 6 months, 7 months, 8 month shelf life, but they are loaded with chemicals. Jams loaded with chemicals. All processed foods are loaded. So about this product, if you keep it outside for 5 hours, 6 hours or 8 hours अगर रहता है बाहर, तो खराब होता है. वो खराब ही होना चाहिए. और खराब होना इसका ये टेस्टिमोनी है कि ये प्योर है, इसमें केमिकल नहीं है. इसमें आप भाप रख के देखो, खराब हो जाएगा.
Even is applied for your the actual mango, if you are converting that actual mango into the juice.
in the house.
Yeah.
It gets a black cover on the top
after 8 hours, after
8-9 hours.
Yeah.
Because we are not putting any chemical inside. It's a home product. We are not putting any chemical. So I would like to the same reference. I would like to tell you a very interesting story. Basically, it's a case like similar to a food case that Cadbury's had these worms coming up in their chocolates, and there was a lot of hue and cry about there were cases and Supreme Court cases and all that stuff.
Yeah, I heard
right?
that.
So in that particular case, it was like the being a food item, the Cadbury's, the company, proved to the court, that these kind of worms coming up in the Cadbury chocolates was basically a proof of its purity.
Okay.
Okay, so they gave with testimonials, with test reports, saying that if such kind of worms, if such kind of some microorganisms are growing up in the product, it is basically a test of its purity. Now, why these worms came up and such what was wrong basically in that was that the Cadbury chocolates were pilferated, were tampered, or basically the covers were spoiled, and then that chocolate came into touch with oxygen, and then they gave. Then it was basically spoiled. So, giving the same example with my product is that when the oxygen comes in touch with any product, it generally gets spoiled. So, similar is obviously the case with my product, Mr. Mango. So, if the product does not have a chemical, and if you open it and keep it open without refrigeration, it has to spoil.
Right.
I mean, the product is spoiling is the test of its purity.
Yes.
This is the kind of and all that's obviously is my USP. I just generally tell my customers कि वो खराब हो रहा है इसका मतलब ही है उसमें केमिकल नहीं है. Then they understand. Okay, right. What you're saying is right. No, वो खराब नहीं हो रहा है मतलब अंदर केमिकल है. वो खराब हो रहा है इसका मतलब वो केमिकल नहीं है.
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned your most of days you spent in Mahindra and Mahindra.
Yeah.
As you rightly said, is one of biggest Indian multinational company. So as a greedy interviewer, I would like to know what was your journey, your experiences, your relationship with Anand Mahindra. So can you please
actually,
share
those were the best days of my life. Being an ex-Mahindrite, I'm very happy to share this with you that whatever I've learned today, whatever I am today, is because the kind of rich experience that I've got in Mahindra and Mahindra. In Mahindras, if you see, we generally talk about DNA, and that's a fact. And our HR and Anand Mahindra normally they talk about DNA. So what is Mahindra DNA? It's very unique. You can type in Google and say what is Mahindra DNA. So DNA, what is the DNA? It runs in our blood.
Right.
Okay. So once a person is working in Mahindra and Mahindra, okay, तो वो महिंद्रा का डीएनए होता है, वो ब्लड में आ जाता है, ऐसा हम बोलते हैं, बिकॉज इट्स अ कल्चर. महिंद्रा इज जनरली आनंद महिंद्रा सेज दैट इट्स नॉट अ कंपनी बट इट्स अ कल्चर, इट्स अ महिंद्रा कल्चर. सो हम उसको डीएनए बोलते हैं. एंड इफ यू रियली वर्क 10 years 15 years in Mahindra and Mahindra, that DNA automatically comes in your blood, and we call that as never, and that DNA is still there in my blood. So to be very honest, I am not working. I am an ex Mahindra employee, and I'm not associated with Mahindra for the past 7 or 8 years. But still, I'll say that Mahindra DNA that runs in my blood. So I would thank Mahindra and Mahindra for grooming me. The kind of experience that I've gained in Mahindra and Mahindra is absolutely invaluable. So from my bottom of my heart, if this podcast ever reaches Anand Mahindra, I would like to thank Anand Mahindra ji for setting such kind of a company which has a strong foundation. And in working there, in his company, I gained whatever experience I've gained right now.
Okay. Right. I mean, it's very emotional. I
Yeah.
would say.
Actually.
Yeah, journey you had with.
And leaving Mahindra was not a very happy
decision.
A happy decision. And that's why it's a very emotional. The moment you asked me this question, and I'm sure you ask this question to any ex Mahindras, he will share the same Mahindra DNA story with you.
Right.
And I believe that this is the certificate of Anand Mahindra's success.
Right.
Anand Mahindra's success as a leader. This is his certificate of his success, to build a company with a very strong foundation.
That's true, actually. Yeah. Coming back to your startup,
Yeah.
I'm sure that to start any startup in India, you had to go through so
Yeah.
many challenges,
Yeah.
and I hope, you must have some
Yeah.
challenges.
Obviously.
So can you or are you wanted to share that challenges?
Yes, definitely. Every entrepreneur starting from a zero
Mm-hmm.
faces a lot of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
The challenges are diverse. I mean, right from building up a capital,
Mm-hmm.
right from generating an idea,
Mm-hmm.
and if at all you have an idea,
Mm-hmm.
to start taking that kind of risk,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because of multifaceted, complex our socio-economic structure in India,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes it's an absolutely, I'll tell you, very difficult scene for an entrepreneur. Even as an entrepreneur, as me, to start up this company was not very easy.
Okay.
And absolutely, I mean, I ventured into business after 22 years of corporate life. So you can imagine a new, a young entrepreneur coming in the market with very limited ideas, with not enough knowledge about the product or the markets or whatever. It's not a very easy thing. And sir, very honestly, in India, I mean, we have made bribery as a system. It works. It works maliciously and spoiling the entire fabric of our economy. And that's hitting the most to the entrepreneur. Probably it will not hit very big companies, and that's the reason why it's a big barrier for small companies or entrepreneur, very small entrepreneurs, not doing their business.
Right.
Because the bribery, bureaucracy
Right.
that we have in our system, it is absolutely killing for an entrepreneur to come. I mean, to be very honest, we have research papers, we have been talking on media, we have the social media channels, we have departments in the government, we are talking about anti-corruptions, we are talking about no corruption, and the central government, state governments, and I mean, if you ever visit the state government offices, there are posters printed on the entrance of all state governments,
Right.
central governments, no corruption, bribe nahi lena, whatever sayings they are there. Maybe I'm very straight in this podcast. Nothing is true. To be very honest.
Right.
It is there. Corruption is absolutely there. No matter how many things we discuss on social media, nobody, whatever drives, nobody, what CBI we have, anti-corruption department, and all we have. To be very frank, from the bottom of my heart, it is there, and it's killing. It is being killing. We have made that as a system.
Yeah, you went through that phase.
Yes. So it's coming from the bottom of my heart, and I could imagine such kind of a bureaucracy that unqualified entrepreneurs have to face.
Right.
See, being a qualified entrepreneur, I'm facing these difficulties, and with such very high experience,
corporate experience.
So I know what can go wrong. I know the process of registration. I'm a lawyer by profession.
Right.
I know the process of registration. I know the registration process. I also know if something is not, I'm not getting something, or something is not working in government departments. I know how to get things done from the government department.
Right.
By various ways.
Despite that, you went through.
Despite that, it's a barrier to a young entrepreneur. So I can imagine this kind of a bureaucratic structure hitting very hard to an unqualified, unorganized entrepreneur. Secondly, of course, new entrepreneurs should, obviously, my opinion to them is go with proper analysis. Innovation is only going to help you. Otherwise, a small entrepreneur will get killed. He will face losses. All kind of struggle is there. Struggle is very hard. So not a very easy scenario, to be very honest.
Yeah. Sir, my last question would be, what is your advice to young entrepreneurs related to your
question? My advice, not such a big entrepreneur to give you this advice, but whatever I've gone through, whatever experience I've had, I can definitely tell you that you have to have innovation in your project or a product, whatever you do, because I'll tell you, the markets today are saturated.
Right.
Every segment has been saturated. Okay, with players sitting in that particular area where you are trying to venture out for 15, 20, 25 years. So if you are venturing out into a certain area, you definitely have to see the competition.
Innovation is a key.
Innovation is the key, because innovation will make your product different. We have seen projects like Country Delight coming up, and of course this was funded all by we have also seen channels and the programs like Shark Tank,
India.
And Shark Tank India and all that. I believe that Country Delight has got funding from Shark Tank.
Big corporates
big
funding,
corporates funding है होता उनका है. So to see your product, go very slow, because there are people who are motivating entrepreneurs like anything. अरे जाओ, बिंदास जाओ, ये करो, डरो मत, ऐसा करके बोल देते हैं. बहुत सारे लोग नौकरी छोड़ के उधर जाके कूद जाते हैं.
But actual reality is something different.
Reality is something different. I would like to give a caution to all the entrepreneurs to make your study properly. Do not leave your jobs. It is being told the other way. See, entrepreneurs are barking in the market other does that नहीं बिंदास जाओ, जॉब छोड़ो, जाओ कूद मरो, वर्क विद पैशन. ये सब बुकिश है.
राइट.
ये सब बुक वाली चीज़ है. मैं बुक वाली चीज़ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. एक रियलिटी जो आपको बता रहा हूँ, मार्केट की रियलिटी बता रहा हूँ. कि ये सब कूदो मत. ओके, यू हैव योर फैमिली, एंड आई एम अ फर्स्ट जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर, और ये फर्स्ट जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर से और बेटर कोई नहीं बता सकता है.
दैट्स ट्रू.
कि यू हैव टू सी योर फैमिली first, and that's the reason why I had to put in 23 years of job, and then come into doing something of my own. Otherwise, I had a lot of dream. मैं ऐसे ही कूद सकता था after 4-5 years, and finding myself nowhere, finding myself, my finances, my family in doldrums. So don't do that. Be very cautious.
Right.
Don't get carried away by motivators.
That's
there are a lot of motivators even in YouTube.
That's true.
You see, there are a lot of motivators in the YouTube.
Yes.
And they are very enthusiastic. They are jumping on the chairs.
Right.
I don't want to take names. But आप businessman नहीं हो, आप ये करो, आप वैसा करो, आप ऐसा business हमारे पास आओ, and we will tell you how to do business. ये सब, I mean, jokes नहीं है.
That's not true actually.
That's not true. I'm not demotivating it, but giving you a matter of caution.
Yes. Sir, thank you for coming to my show.
So thank you very much for calling, inviting me in your show. I am obliged.
Right. Finally, friends, I would like to thank Hosmart. Hosmart is the sponsor for this episode. Hosmart Healthcare is the one-stop solution for your all hospital-related infrastructure need. Hosmart Healthcare also helps hospitals to run their hospitals in a professional and successful way. So thank you for friends watching this episode.